Edge Designations introductory video to the FDP Financial Data Professional exam for the October 2023 cycle. The purpose of this video is to introduce the FDP to you, as well as to introduce Edge Designations as a prep provider to the FDP program. First and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Russell Jude, and I also am a newly qualified FDP charter holder. Our company name, Edge Designations, and in addition to offering prep services for FDP, we offer prep services for CFA, FRM, KIA, as well as FDP. For those interested, do take a look at our website, www.edgedesignations.com. The purpose of this particular video is twofold. Number one is to have a good look at the FDP program. What is the FDP program? What can it do for you? How do you become an FDP charter holder? And we'll have a good look at the syllabus as well. Secondly, to introduce Edge Designations to you as a preferred prep provider to the FDP program at this point in time. As of recording of this video, there are only two prep providers for FDP. That's ourselves and Kaplan. So delighted to have been included as a preferred prep provider. Let's get going straight away and talk a little bit about the FDP program. First and foremost, the program. The question we most often get is, how long does it take to study for? It's approximately 250 hours, but again, that is slightly misleading in terms of depending completely on your background. Now, if you come with a very strong quants background, a very strong data background, that time will be reduced significantly. If you don't, you may require a bit more time, but on average, we look at about 250 hours. How would you become an FDP charter holder? Number one, you pass the FDP exam. At this point in time, there is only one level of FDP. Okay, so that is makes it a little bit easier, not easy, easier. Okay, at this particular point in time, so it's only level 1 of FDP. You pass that exam. We'll talk a bit about the exam a little bit later on in this particular video. What is involved in that exam? Once you have passed the exam, you also, in addition to the exam, you can do this before the exam or after you write the exam. You need to complete two basic courses, well, one basic, one intermediate course, okay, in either R or Python, okay, either one, okay, a basic and intermediate course. You can do it on via a company called DataCamp. They offer services, as well as on Udemy, same story. Okay, then you need to submit your signed code of ethics and get 2 professional references as well. Then you will become an FDP charter holder. Of course, the key component of becoming an FDP charter holder is to pass the FDP exam, which, as I say, we'll talk about in a second. What's involved in FDP? What are the key areas covered within the FDP program? As you can see over here, there are 9 topics, okay, with varying exam weights, okay. Topic number 1, Introduction to Data Science, a nice intro to data science, 5 to 12%. Topic 2 and 3 are the slightly higher weighted topics. Topic 2, we look at linear as well as logistic regression, support vector machines, regularization, and time series. And that carries a 10 to 15% exam weighting, a very important one. Topic number 3 is decision trees, supervised segmentation, and ensemble methods, again carrying a 10 to 15% exam weighting. The remaining topics, topic 4 through till 8, carry a slightly lower exam weighting in that 5 to 12%. Topic 4, we look at classification, clustering, and naive Bayes. Topic 5, neural networks and reinforcement learning. Topic 6, performance evaluation, backtesting, and false discoveries. Topic 7, text mining. and topic 8, ethical and privacy issues. All of those are going to carry a 5 to 12% exam weighting on average. Topic number 9 is fintech applications, and this is obviously where everything comes together, in that we now look at applying the fintech knowledge that we've gained already in topic 1 through till 8. And as you can see, of course, that carries with it a significant exam weighting of 25 to 40%. Okay, so basically you can see that FDP breaks down into 3 different types of exam weightings: the 10 to 15s, which is topic 2 and 3. The balance of your topics are 5 to 12, and topic 9 is 25 to 40%. Of course, that's being the fintech application section. Over our page, we take a look at the material. One of the, and I don't say it as a criticism, but one of the comments that we hear quite often about the FDP program is that, is there a textbook, one textbook, for example, like we have on the Kaya side, that has got all the material in it? The answer to that is no. Okay. FDP, keep in mind, guys, is a relatively new designation, a fantastic designation, but relatively new, and that they are still working with textbooks. Okay, there will come a time, of course, that everything will be in one central location, one book produced by FDP, but not at the moment. Okay, so the way that the FDP works is that they give you what we call a study guide. Okay, the study guide sends you to where you need to be to get that particular material for that particular topic. Where is that material coming from? Well, there are 3 major sources. Source number 1 are the textbooks. What are the textbooks? There's Data Science for Business by Provost, a fantastic textbook. That particular textbook, okay, we do almost the entire textbook. Okay, I'm going to skip number 2 for a second. Then we've got Machine Learning in Business by John Hull, book number 3. That one, I think we do the entire textbook. Okay, so those 2 are your major textbooks that we use. Textbook number 2, an Introduction to Statistical Learning. Okay, there's about 3 chapters from that particular textbook. I think it's 3 and a little bit of the 4th that we use, but it's definitely not the majority of the textbook. So the first source of the study material is going to come from your textbooks. Those are your 3 textbooks. Okay, that particular one, an Intro to Statistical Learning, is freely available on the internet. Okay, the other 2 you're going to need to purchase. In addition to that, okay, there are what we call the additional readings. I've put them in different colors. Color number 1, okay, is the blues. Those are available freely once you register for FDP on their website, no charge. Okay, and there are 8 readings. If you are perhaps doing this again, seen this before one time, you'll note that there used to be 9 readings in the April exam. For the October exam, there are going to be 8, not 9. One of them have been dropped. There have been some other changes as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. The third and final source of material are what we call the journal readings. There are 6 journal readings. Here they are. Okay. And that is available directly from FDP, if memory serves, at a charge of $99. Nothing too crazy about that. Okay, so if you look at the way FDP works, just to summarize again, they give you what we call a study guide. The study guide refers you to where you need to be for the particular topic. Where are the possible sources? Well, there are your textbooks. There is Data Science for Business by Provost, an Intro to Stat Learning, and Machine Learning in Business by Hull. Got additional readings here. I put them in blue, 8 readings available on the website, the FDP website, and additional 6 readings over there. The journal readings, again, available from FDP, okay, at a cost of approximately $99. Over our page, what are some of the tools that are provided to you as a candidate by the FDP? They give you practice questions. Again, if memory serves, is about 111, some lovely questions over there. There is a full sample exam as well. And then that was the study guide that I referred to a little bit earlier. The study guide is going to send you all over the show, okay, and pull information from the various textbooks and or readings, what you need to know for the particular topics. And if I just take you back 1 second, remember, of course, guys, there are 9 topics altogether. So these 9 topics, for example, topic number 1, Introduction to Data Science, with an exam weight of 5 to 12%. The study guide will tell you what you need to cover topic 1. Some of it will come from Hull's textbook, some will come from Provost's textbook, etc., etc. Okay, generally what you find, just by way of a guide, most of topic 9, which is the fintech applications, come from the website readings as well as the journal readings that we showed you over there. Okay. But the study guide is vital in terms of that, in terms of it tells you what you need to do and where you need to get the various bits of information from. Let's take a quick look at the exam. Okay, you go and write your exam. Okay, sign your non-disclosure agreement and look at the exam instructions. You start off and you've got 80 multiple choice questions for 135 minutes. Okay. Those 80 multiple choice questions, okay, relatively quick, okay, it's not a lot of time to get all of those done. And if you have a look at just a little bit of the maths behind that, how fast do you have to work? Well, you've got 135 minutes, okay, and you've got to do 80 multiple choice questions, and the maths behind that is relatively gentle. Okay, and as you can see over here, you have approximately 101 seconds. Now you may think, well, aren't you being a little bit ridiculous here, converting things into seconds? And the truth be told is no, because you've got to be very particular with your time. Remember, you're at 80 multiple choice questions. You have to finish them. Okay, you've got 135 minutes. Okay, 2 hours and 15 minutes. You've got to work relatively steadily. It's not an impossible job by any means, but you've got to work consistently and steadily to get through those. You can't leave any marks on the table. Okay, so that's why we work in seconds, so you can quite as much as possible monitor your time as you're practicing questions to make sure you're able to do the questions in that particular time. There's about a 30-minute time break. 30 minutes, in fact it's a 20-minute break, my apologies, and then you move into paper number 2. What is paper number 2? Paper number 2 is a constructed response paper. 25% of the total marks. Remember, the first 75% were on the MCQs, and you've got 65 minutes over there. Typically speaking, this constructed response section paper, okay, comprises of anywhere between 2 to 4 questions. Typically you can be safe on around about 3 questions, okay, but remember, they're not each one is a question. For example, question number 1 on the constructed response side will have an A, a B, a C, and perhaps even a D. So they are quite extensive, and that's why a lot of people say, oh, constructed response, that's essay questions. My answer is no, that's not essay questions, and you can see that it's not essay questions, evidenced by the fact that each of the questions, probably a total of 3 altogether, have got A's, B's, C's, and sometimes even a D and an E after them. So they're short constructed answers that need to be given to the specific questions being asked. Okay, look over here at the exam window, 9th of October till the 23rd of October, and that time comes quite quickly. Okay, which dates? Why is there a window? Why do we call it an exam window? Remember, of course, that there are not enough computers for everybody to write on exactly the same day. So people write on different days. There's different days available throughout the window. Remember, once you have registered for the FDP exam, just make sure that you book yourself an exam date, because yes, you are registered within the program, but you don't have an exam date yet. So once you register, go on and book yourself an exam date, which obviously will fit between the 9th of October and the 23rd. The earlier you book and register your exam, book yourself an exam date, the more likely you are to be able to get the date that you require. Okay. Where to write? You've got 2 options. You can write it at a testing center. Okay. Option number 1, you go to the testing center, hopefully if there is a testing center in your location where you are, you get yourself a computer. I must say I did it quite recently. It's quite as much as an exam can be, a pleasurable experience. Props to Prometric, because it was a lovely experience. Okay, everything worked. The exam center was on time. The computer worked, and I know this, I've written many exams in my day. I even wrote one exam once, a computer-based exam where the computer never worked, believe it or not. So it's not a given that everything will work perfectly all the time, but at Prometric it typically does. Okay. You go to the exam center, you check yourself in, you write your exam, and everything seems to work quite nicely. Option number 2 is if you would like to write at home or in your office, wherever you are, or perhaps if there is no exam Prometric testing center near you, you may be required to write via remote proctoring. And again, no criticism on Kaya nor on FDP, because they were one of the pioneers to bring this remote proctoring to the market, at least for the financial designations. Candidates have experienced a little bit of difficulty with this option number 2. Okay, let me tell you some of the reasons what I've heard. I've never done it myself, so I can't comment personally, just to give you some feedback and to enable you hopefully to make the choice that works best for you. Number 1, you've got to have a clean office. Okay, you can't have anything in your office, no books, nothing like that. It's got to be completely clear, completely clean. The computers you've got to have your cameras focused on you, because remember, it's remote proctoring in that you've got an external proctor that is watching you. Okay, so you've got to have the cameras on you. They've got access to your system. Okay, the proctor controls the exam externally, and you've got to really. It's a lot of guys tell me that it's a process that hasn't worked that well just yet. The exam does freeze up every now and then. The invigilator tends to warn candidates for insignificant things, and they say that no, they weren't cheating, no, they weren't doing this, no, they weren't doing that. But okay, and I understand both sides of the picture, but it is a bit more of a difficult process in general. Okay. So my strong advice is to go for option number 1, to go and write at a testing center if you are able to. In addition, remember that you leave your house, okay, you go write an exam. It's part of the exam writing process in a sense. You get yourself ready, etc. So I prefer option 1. It's a personal opinion only, but hopefully I've given you enough information about either one. Exam results. How do you pass this thing? Well, you get 70% if you want a guaranteed pass, but as does Kaya, FDP does the same thing and tells you if you get less than 70%, that might still be a pass as well. Generally speaking, they are very efficient with their marking, okay, and results are made available 5 weeks after the exam. Why does it take up to 5 weeks? Remember, of course, one component of the exam, there's 2 components. Component number 1 is MCQs, nice and easy to mark. But the constructed response section, which is the second section of the FDP paper, requires human intervention, and it's got to be marked. So that does take a little bit longer. Okay. For those, and this particular little bit that I've put over here, guys, on page 4, is really just for those guys that perhaps either have got themselves got hold of an older syllabus, perhaps. Okay, not the most current up-to-date syllabus, which is never an advisable idea. Or number 2, wrote this exam perhaps in April, never passed the exam, and I'm saying, well, what are the changes for the October? FDP is one of those, and I think it's a good thing, by the way, that change syllabus even mid-year. None of the other designations do it. Well, at least not CFA, FRM, and Kaya. FDP do change syllabus partway through the year, so you can expect sometimes changes from April through to the October paper. Okay, and what they've done is 4 readings are gone, okay, from April. You can see over here, what are those 4 readings that have been removed? Okay, machine learning, thematic series, bias, and ethical implications. Was there in April, is now gone. Text mining and insurance, from unstructured data to meaning, is gone. And interestingly enough, mapping the NFT revolution. So NFTs is gone as well. One wonders if it's gone out of favor just a little bit. Those three are gone, as well as an inside peek at AI use in private equity. That one has gone as well. So there are 4 readings. Those 4 are out. And a little bit of good news, of course, guys, only 3 in. So we gain 1 overall. Okay, we have a look over here. What are the new introductions? Okay, reading 8.2, mitigating bias in AI, which is a lovely one. Okay, and that kind of like replaces the old 8.2 over there, which also spoke about bias, but this has got a nice strong AI link to it, which is fantastic and modern and new. Look over here, okay, taming text, an introduction to text mining, okay, seemingly to have replaced this text mining one over there, but which had perhaps a stronger bent towards insurance. So those are the 2 new ones over there. Doesn't seem to have anything that has replaced NFTs. It just seems to be that NFTs have been removed. Okay, and what have we got over here in terms of an inside peek at AI use in private equity is gone. What has that been replaced by? Okay, robustness of mutual funds categorization and distance metric learning. Okay, another nice one has been introduced. So just if you are working perhaps on an older syllabus, just be careful that you do take into account the changes. The good news, by the way, and I'm going to show this to you now as we move over our page, when we go into a little bit more detail, just for those that are, and I'll do this by way of, I'll just do one example with you just to show you how it all works. Topic number 1, Intro to Data Science. Remember, there are 9 topics altogether. And you say, well, where does topic number 1 come from? It's got a 5 to 12% exam weighting. It comes from Provost's book, Data Science for Business. You need to read chapter 1 and chapter 2. You need to read Hull's book, chapter 1, Machine Learning in Business. And then you need to pick up an introduction to statistical learning. And there you will find reading. Chapter 1 is tiny, teeny, tiny, a little bit then in 2.1 and 2.2 as well. Those are your readings for topic number 1, Intro to Data Science. And as you can see, we go through all of the topics over here, and there's different source material for them. If you are a repeat student, or perhaps you never got to write, or for whatever reason, okay, just an important to note that there are no changes, okay, at all for the first 7 topics. Those are carbon copy. Where do the changes come in? They come in topic number 8 and topic number 9, and I put them there in purple for you. Those are where, those, remember we said there was 3 new readings. Those are them. Okay, so just in case you are a second time, or you never got your right first time, whatever reason, okay, just remember, and you're perhaps working on an older syllabus, no changes all the way until topic 7. If you're working on anything from October 22, April 2023, those 2 only changes come out over here in topic 8 and topic 9, and those are them. That then brings us to a conclusion of this particular introductory video, okay, in terms of what you can expect then from the FDP. That is the FDP exam. Just very briefly for those that are interested, I'm going to go back to our very front page over here, just to let you know there is some of the EDGE designations details. My name, as mentioned earlier, Russell Jude. Please feel free. What I will do, let me just pop in over here an email address for anybody that would perhaps like to make contact or have any questions. Of course, you can do so, of course, via our website as well, which is edgedesignations.com. But my personal email address is russellj@ebs.co.za. So please feel free, if you've got any questions, queries, concerns, please feel free to pop those through, and we'll be glad to assist you. This then brings us to a conclusion of our introductory video to the FDP program and introducing EDGE designations to you. We wish all of those candidates that have decided to take up the challenge the best of success with the FDP exams, and please let us know if we can assist you further.